Brittney Griner just made one of the biggest mistakes of her career, and it's all on video. The game was close. Tensions were rising. Caitlin Clark had the crowd on their feet again, hitting shots and shifting the momentum. But while fans were watching the action on the court, something else happened on the sideline. Griner leaned forward. She shouted something toward the court. It was quick, but clear enough for people watching at home to pause, rewind, and listen again, over and over. The words that spread online: "trash fucking white girl." The clip exploded. People were stunned. Some didn't want to believe it. Others knew exactly what they heard. And the reaction wasn't just loud. It was immediate. Fans started calling her out. Parents with kids in the crowd said they were disgusted. Former players spoke up. It wasn't just trash talk anymore. It felt personal, ugly, out of line. But what really set people off was the silence after. No apology, no comment, nothing from Griner, nothing from her team. The WNBA, quiet. And that silence felt like a message of its own. Is this what the league stands for now? Would this be okay if the roles were reversed? The questions piled up fast. And with every hour that passed, the pressure on Griner and the league got heavier. It was no longer about just one game. It became a moment that could change everything. The video was barely a few hours old when the reactions came flooding in. Fans were furious, not just because of what Brittney Griner may have said, but because no one in the league seemed ready to speak up. Sports pages filled with comments. People weren't just disappointed, they felt betrayed. This isn't about race, it's about respect. If Caitlin said that, she'd be suspended in a heartbeat. We gave Brittney a second chance. For what? Then came the commentators. G3, the former NFL star, took to social media and praised Caitlin Clark. He called her a once-in-a-generation player and said she was changing the WNBA in ways no one else has. But that didn't sit well with everyone. ESPN's Ryan Clark fired back, not with facts, but with a personal jab. He questioned why RG3 was even speaking on the issue, then said something that turned the temperature way up. What does he know? He's married to a white woman. That one line lit a fire under the whole conversation. People were stunned. The debate had officially jumped from a sideline comment to something way bigger. A war of opinions, identity, and double standards. And Angel Reese? She wasn't staying silent either. She posted a series of tweets defending Brittney Griner and calling out the media. She claimed Caitlin Clark was being protected. She said black women were under attack. But instead of calming things down, her comments only made the divide deeper. For every fan who agreed, 3 more were calling her out, asking why she was defending someone accused of using a racial slur and why she was turning the moment into a media war. The story wasn't fading, it was growing, and sides were forming fast. Angel Reese didn't try to ease the heat, she turned it up. Instead of taking a neutral stance or calling for calm, she jumped straight to Brittney Griner's defense. On social media, in interviews, even courtside, she doubled down. According to Reese, the real problem wasn't what Griner said, it was how the media reacted. "They're trying to tear us down," she said. "They protect Caitlin, but call us angry or aggressive. Why is that?" To some, her words hit home. They agreed, said it was bias, said black women in the WNBA have been disrespected for years. But for many others, especially fans who just wanted to watch good basketball, her defense crossed the line. People started asking, why defend a teammate's mistake instead of holding her accountable? Why shift blame when the issue was right there on camera? The backlash came fast. Reese's comments were screenshotted, reposted, and picked apart across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Analysts said she missed the bigger picture. Parents said they were tired of excuses. Fans who once cheered for her turned away. Some even booed her at her next game. And still, not a word from Caitlin Clark. No tweets, no interviews, no shots fired. Just game after game, played with grit and focus. And for fans watching closely, that said everything. The league couldn't ignore it anymore. Headlines weren't about stats, they were about sides. But Caitlin Clark didn't flinch. She wasn't answering questions about the drama. She wasn't firing back on social media. She let her game speak for itself, and it did. In the middle of all the noise, Clark put up one of her best performances of the season. Big passes, deep threes, calm under pressure. She wasn't just playing, She was leading. Coaches noticed. So did fans. The same people who were unsure about the WNBA before were now tuning in just to watch her. Ticket sales went up. Viewership hit new records. Entire arenas started selling out for the first time in years. But behind the scenes, pressure was building. Some players rolled their eyes when her name was mentioned. Others made slick comments during post-game interviews. It was clear not everyone liked the attention she brought, or the way the league seemed to be changing around her. Still, Clark kept moving forward. No outbursts, no drama, just results. The league had a spotlight, and she was standing right in the center of it. Not because she asked for it, because she earned it. Then came the shock no one saw coming. And it wasn't on the court. A leaked internal report hit the web, showing that several WNBA sponsors had quietly started pulling back from Brittney Griner-linked promotions. One brand even asked for Caitlin Clark to be the new face of their campaign, replacing a previous athlete, without naming who. But fans connected the dots, and that's when the twist hit. This wasn't just about one comment, or even one rivalry. It was about the future of the league and who was shaping it. Inside sources said networks were adjusting their summer schedules to make more room for fever games. Clark's matchups were being promoted more. Ticket packages were getting rebranded around her image. In other words, the league was betting big on Caitlin, and not everyone was happy about it. Players spoke off the record, saying the league was choosing favorites, that everything was about one player now. But the numbers didn't lie. When Caitlin Clark played, seats were full. When she didn't, half the arena was empty. Then came a quiet move with loud consequences. A major player's agent reportedly threatened to walk away from a deal if their client didn't get the same exposure. That deal? It fell apart within 24 hours. Suddenly it was clear this was a turning point, not just for Caitlin Clark, but for a league trying to decide what kind of future it wants and who it's willing to build that future around. The league wanted attention. Now they've got it, but not the kind they expected. Instead of unity, there's division. Instead of headlines about teamwork and growth, it's slurs, drama, and silence, where accountability should be. And at the center of it all is a rookie who's done nothing but show up and play the game right. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for this feud, but she's winning it, not through tweets or interviews, but through numbers, highlights, and packed arenas. Brittney Griner may have started this fire with one careless moment. Angel Reese may have tried to shield her from the flames, but now the smoke is thick and the league is choking on the backlash. The fans have spoken. The spotlight has shifted, and if anyone thought Caitlin Clark would be the one to fold under pressure, they were wrong. Because while Griner talks, while Reese deflects, and while the noise gets louder, Clark just keeps rising. And if this is what the future of the WNBA looks like, Brittney Griner isn't ready for it. She didn't just lose control of the narrative, she lost the league.